Alright guys, what's up? Look, today I'm going to talk about how the Wii U is kind of like that chick that you think is really hot when you're drunk, but then as time goes on and you start to sober up, you realize that she's actually not all that attractive. What the heck am I talking about? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Okay, so basically, like, you guys should know that, I've been playing games for ages. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, or I used to be a Nintendo fanboy, not so much anymore. And these days, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is kind of jump online, check my emails, see if anyone's commented on any of my videos, see if anyone's subscribed or anything like that. And then I immediately head on over to game sites and sort of check up on all the news that I missed out on while I was sleeping. And I've been doing this for like, 2, 3 years now probably. And, I've just been doing it for ages. And in the last couple of weeks, man, there's been a heck of a lot of bad news when it comes to Nintendo. Um, and you probably don't know what the heck I'm talking about, so I'll cover it all. Now, just before I start, I just want to say that I am still buying the Wii U, okay? For me, the prospect of being able to play Call of Duty Black Ops at 60 frames, Black Ops 2 at 60 frames per second, with the Wiimote pointer, with, far less lag than what we're used to on the Wii version, and more in line with what we get on the 360 or PS3 version. It's just too much to pass up. I can't not have that. I need that. Like, I need that for my life. It's just too important. Okay, maybe not for my life, but you know what I'm saying, right? Um, I'm still going to get the Wii U regardless, which, yeah, is definitely happening. The problem is this, okay? Over the last couple of weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks, we've had heaps of really bad information coming out of the news sites and stuff regarding the Wii U. And the first one of that was New Super Mario Bros. U being only 720p. I'm a graphics whore, okay? And I like 1080p. I like shiny graphics and like smooth frame rates and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it's not going to make all that much difference because I wasn't going to buy New Super Mario Bros. U anyway. But the fact is, the fact that it's not running at 1080p sucks, and I'll tell you why it sucks. First of all, New Super Mario Bros. U is it's a Wii game. Let's face it. It's pretty much a Wii game. It's got the same graphics as New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's just in a higher resolution, really. So there's no excuse for it to not be able to run at 1080p native. There's just no excuse. If there's any game on Wii U that should be able to run at 1080p native, it's that game, and yet it doesn't. What's worse is that Nintendo originally said on their website that it was going to be in full high definition, and then they pulled that down and made it so that it's only high definition. Why do that? Like, how can they make such a basic mistake? Like, it's just ridiculous. I don't get it. But anyway, the other thing that we found out is that Black Ops 2 isn't going to be running in full high definition. It's the same deal. They said in their press conference that it was going to be running in full high definition graphics, and then they backtracked now and they've said that it's only going to be running at 720p. That's something that really shouldn't happen. Like, back then when they announced that, we didn't know anything about Black Ops 2 for Wii U. We didn't even know it existed. We had rumors and stuff, but we didn't actually know for sure that it existed for Wii U. And so when they announced it, we hung on there every single word. We took them at face value for exactly what they said. And when they said full high definition, that means 1080p. So we thought it was going to be rendering at 1080p. If it wasn't going to be rendering at 1080p, why mention full high definition in the first place? Obviously, it could be upscaled to 1080p. We know that already, that the Wii U upscales games to 1080p. Why make a special point of it and say that it's in full high definition, unless it was rendering in that. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a slip up or something in the conference. Maybe they weren't supposed to say that, or whatever. Maybe they're just so used to saying full high definition that that they just accidentally said it, or maybe they honestly don't know what full high definition means. I mean, that would be inexcusable because they're a games company. I mean, heck, I know that, and I'm not a games developer or anything like that. So no excuses there. But whatever. Anyway, look. The other thing we found out was that Call of Duty Elite won't be making it at launch for the Wii U. It's probably going to be coming later on. They said, I guess, that they're working with Nintendo on it and stuff like that. Let's hope that it's something they actually do and they don't just say, oh yeah, we're working on it and whatever, and then never comes. We're used to that kind of thing from Activision when it comes to Nintendo consoles and Call of Duty. They promise stuff and they say this, map packs there's going to be, and then they never came. That kind of stuff. So let's hope that finally does come along. But look, today what I want to talk about is a recent revelation from Nintendo's statement or whatever, that we're not going to be able to use... well, basically they covered a few things. They talked about a few things with regards to in-game chat and voice chat and stuff. on the Wii U. The first thing they said is that there's no universal support for in-game voice chat. That means that there's not going to be party support like we have on Xbox 360. So we're not going to be able to join up a party and have like a Nintendo party or whatever you want to call it, where we're all chatting and stuff, and we're all playing different games, and we can all talk to each other while playing different games. That's out. It's not happening. Okay, so if you expected that, sorry guys, it's not happening. Okay, the other thing is support for in-game chat is going to be on a game-by-game basis. So that means that it's going to be basically at the developer's discretion on how they implement it, and it's going to be limited just to those that particular game. So you can chat to each other between each other in that game, but not between games. And here's the big one, okay? This one kind of really sucks. The gamepad mic will not, by default, work as an input for in-game voice chat. In other words, you can't talk in-game between each other using the mic on the gamepad. If you can't use the mic on the gamepad, what's the point of having a mic on the gamepad in the first place? That's my first question. And the second question really is, why not? I mean, we can use, it's there. Why not use it? But this causes all sorts of problems. And the big one is this. If you've ever played Xbox 360, okay? If you've ever played like Call of Duty on Xbox 360, let's say, you'll know that like pretty much every match has like, I don't know, 8 to 10 people with a mic, okay? Pretty much everyone uses a mic when they're playing Xbox 360. And that's because, the console included a mic with every console that was sold. I can't remember if it was included in the very, very first basic package, but whatever. Pretty much every console sold included a headset, which had a mic with it. And that's awesome, because then what happens is everybody has a mic, everyone has the ability to talk. And so, you have that ability in, say, Call of Duty or Battlefield and stuff to tell people where you are. You have the ability to tell people where the enemy is. And that lends itself to being able to play more tactically. You can set up strategies, that kind of thing, which is really awesome, especially in games like Battlefield. But, that's not going to be the case anymore for the Wii U, because you can't use the mic included on the gamepad in games. You have to have a separate headset to be able to play and talk at the same time. That means that people that don't buy a headset, which is going to be like a lot of people, won't have the ability to chat in games, which means we're going to be left with the same sort of situation we have on Wii, or the same situation that people have on the PS3, where like only maybe a quarter of the population actually have and use mics. Again, that's a disadvantage because you can't set up, tactical strategies. You can't communicate with other players. You can't set up games as easily. All sorts of things. So that's a huge disadvantage in my opinion. But not only that, but it also makes the Wii U Pro Controller even less useful. What do I mean by that? Well, recently I had a bit of a chat with DarkyHD on one of the comments section of his videos. If you don't know who DarkyHD is, he's the largest Wii YouTube commentator from Australia. And kind of had a debate about, the Wii U gamepad being pretty much being able to do everything that Wii U Pro Controller can do, and there's kind of no point having a Wii U Pro Controller in the first place. That was my argument. He was saying that there is a point in having the Wii U Pro Controller, and that it gives you a unique experience. He couldn't actually give me a reason why he believes that, but that was his argument anyway. And I said, nah, man, it doesn't do anything. It's pretty much exactly the same as the gamepad, and it is. In fact, it's less than the gamepad in more ways than one. At the time, I didn't know that the Wii U Pro Controller didn't have a microphone port, but in fact, it doesn't have a microphone port. And so what that effectively means is that if you're going to now play Call of Duty with the Wii U Pro Controller, you also need to have your Wii U gamepad next to you so that you can then talk if you have a headset. So if you need to have the Wii U gamepad on and next to you anyway, then you may as well just use it, because my argument is that it's basically the same as the Wii U Pro Controller. It's got everything the Wii U Pro Controller has. It's got, the two sticks, it's got the clicky sticks, it's got analog triggers, it's got all the buttons, it's got everything. It's got more. It's got the touchscreen as well. It's got the mic, which we've now figured out is completely useless. It's got the NFC chip. It's got heaps of stuff. There's pretty much no point in having a Wii U Pro Controller, and today's announcement has confirmed that basically, because again, if you're going to use the Wii U Pro Controller and you want to be able to chat in game, you need to have the gamepad next to you anyway. So what's the point? And I mean, that's pretty much it. Look, from me, guys, today. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as usual, have a good day.